Out of the frying pan and into the fire. No rest for the wicked as Mo Light and Sandbox have to come right back out on stage after just fighting for their lives. AC, a lot's changed since yesterday when Sandbox fell 0-2 to Mohamed Light. Since then, he's gone on a run here in the lower bracket, taking out Sam, Mugi, Adriel, and now going up against the GOAT himself in Mo Light. He looks like a man reborn.
Yeah, I mean, Sandbox, look, that's a gauntlet right there. I mean, you do not want any of those players. I mean, even doing that on ladder is going to be kind of annoying. To do that on the world stage, getting those guys and then beating all of them to make it to Mohamed Light, there's so much respect that needs to be given to Sandbox. I mean, that is unbelievable. You shouldn't be able to beat all those guys in succession.
The only man that's had his number this entire weekend. Can Sandbox turn that story around? His fans right there with those Korean signs, obviously hoping that that's the case, but a tall order, a tired Mohamed Light looks like he's dialed in and maybe even almost a little bit annoyed he has to be in the lower bracket.
Yeah, I mean, Mohamed Light, you know, he's annoyed, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter to him. As long as he has a fighting chance, he's going to be able to throw all those haymakers. And I mean, this is going to be just such a phenomenal matchup. Sandbox, just absolute
love for those guys here representing Clash Royale for Supercell. Love to see them in the crowd. But Sandbox, as you said, he didn't take the fully allotted time that you're allowed between games when you go back to back. I love that level of confidence, just like you.
Yes, I love it. You know, so many players would have taken all the time in the world. But look, if you know you have 3, 4, 5 different decks, it feels like he knows that he's going in with 5 decks total. And it's like, these 5, I can beat whoever's in front of me. I'm going to try and use this in the correct way where I get the right matchup. But it doesn't matter. I'm Sandbox. I'm going to beat whoever's in front of me.
Well, let's see if he can pull off the biggest part of his run here. Can he complete the trifecta of world champions? Sandbox, Mo Light, lower bracket, 3rd, 4th place. Let's go.
Fire Spirit gets the jump with the Goblin Staves and towers down at 2485. A phenomenal, I mean, you take a look at the cards that are played. Goblin Barrel, Fire Spirit, Guards, Bar Barrel. He should be receiving no damage. Instead, he's receiving a lot of damage. And a 200 HP lead and King Tower activation for Cal Sandbox.
Wallbreaker split in the back. Sandbox definitely going away from what he usually plays. Gets the vines in. Damage kind of done there. Would have loved a little bit more, but Mo doing a great job of, you know, this is so funny. We actually had a conversation with Mo Light earlier today about how he is so good at knowing exactly where barrels are and the mind games that come with that. Sandbox already throwing to left. Mo there catching with a card instead of having to use his barb barrel.
Yeah, pretty aggressive vines right there, but gets a lot of damage. Dark Goblin again going in with these incredibly aggressive vines. And look, what we're seeing in CRL is aggression is okay. You can be aggressive, and we're not really used to that from previous years.
And Mo a little frustrated, you can see by the aggression that is being thrown his way, but the lack of counter push and the lack of elixir lead that you would hope to get when your opponent is that defensive. Mo's taking a lot of damage. He doesn't have anything to show for it at the moment. And the double barrel in, plus the wall breakers.
And again, getting aggressive, and again, both hitting. Berserker going crazy on the right side. We can't even talk about that because the left side is down to 11-15.
And you see kind of a gasp on Mo's face and a gasp from the crowd here. Just taking so much damage here as we tick in to the final minute of regulation. Aggressive Fire Spirit at the bridge baits out the Evo Tesla because he can't take more damage.
I mean, this is just a new way to play this matchup. Here we go, Mohamed Light trying to reset. We're in double elixir, and that's going to be a very expensive play, but he's able to catch everything, the Dark Goblin and the cannon.
Berserker needs to put damage in right now. Firecracker connects on top of Tower 2, and that is a huge moment for Mo Light. Firecracker still alive. Doesn't get a second shot on Tower. 12:39, 11:15. Another Hog Rider comes in. This should be nice cleanup here for Sandbox. A bit of an overspend there by Mo. A great vines.
Right there, Bar Barrel going to be able to perfectly predict, gets the Goblin Barrel cleaned up very nicely, and Sandbox still has the lead, but what was 1,500 is now down to 100.
12:39, 11:15, now getting into overtime. Sandbox thinking about keeping pressure up in the opposite lane. Berserker and Dark Goblin working down the right-hand side. Barrel goes left on the inside. Mo can see it from a mile away.
Yeah, I believe that was just one tile too far into the middle. It made it a little bit too obvious. Firecracker plus E-Spirit going to be able to block one of the wall breakers from getting into the tower, but not enough. Evo Valk on defense, and now, after such a strong start, Mohamed Light takes the lead.
Yeah, evening things up is Mo, and right back on offense. Gonna have to use the vines up high. Sandbox knows that's gonna line up the Firecracker. Now the Hog's gonna get on top of tower, and as quickly as Sandbox started this game, Mohamed Light finishes it.
I mean, after those first couple minutes, Mohamed Light really
takes in terms of allowing that Firecracker, Evo or not, to connect on tower. Can he turn it around in game 2? Or will be sent home as 4 in the world? And Momo continues his lower bracket run. Game 2, final match of the day. And a high Archer Queen to start. And the aggression doesn't stop in game 2 for Sandbox. Poison on Valk, poison on the hut. Queen ability in, down just 1 elixir. Mo cycles a snowball.
Snowball forces out the Ice Spirit from Sandbox to protect the tower. Ice Spirit plus Miner not going to get any damage because of the brilliant Berserker placed just in time by Mohamed Light. And again, we're seeing Drill plus the Bomber forces out the Bar Barrel on defense on the Bomber. And the Ghost plus Skellies, that's going to be a little bit of damage. One little Goblin stab on top of the tower, getting it down to 2852.
And Royal Ghost working down the left-hand side.
Can't catch it once again. Berserker to the right, Valk to the left.
Yeah, very interesting for Sandbox to just go minor poison control here, thinking that he can outplay Mo in the micro. And he does have some good responses for the Drill, the Barrel, the Skellies, the Ice Spirit, the Royal Ghost, all going to be great ways to kind of keep it at bay. And of course, the Miner, always going to be hard to pick up, but some good responses for Mohamed Light.
Bomber doesn't get the second shot, so it is going to force out another card in response. Berserker comes down. Sandbox going to try and clean that up nicely. And an interesting Goblin Hut, placing it as high as he did. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I think that's just another thing that I'm learning. I get it. You're trying to get a little bit aggressive and get some more value that you usually don't. So I like the play. I really do.
Yeah, you're hoping that you're Spear Goblins. And there it is. We talked about this play yesterday when AC and I were on, when Juicy and I were on broadcast. That's the play. You go Drill, you go Rocket, takes the Ghost out of play, and then you get the Evo Snowball in. I love that they just pulled that off after we talked about it yesterday.
See Mohamed Light a little bit upset. One of the interactions not going his way. Most of the other ones doing so, though. And both towers very close to each other. But, I mean, really, that's okay if you're Mohamed Light. The Drill plus the Rocket, that's an easy 1200 HP worth of damage once he gets the triple elixir. And there we go, getting very aggressive. A lot of these Drill Rocket players wait a little bit longer, but he knows how good his defense is, and he's okay with doing it.
1670 down, and knows that the Bar Barrel or Skellies, anything that gives Rocket value is going to come down there with the Royal Ghost on the opposite side of the board. 2113, 1670. Is the same lane the way to go for the rest of this bout for both these guys, AC?
Yeah, I think you have to, but it really is close. I'm surprised that he went Archer Queen opposite lane, but I believe it's getting a lot of value. Should be able to get 2 swings on top of the tower, and we are going to see that. I mean, Sandbox putting in a lot of work, getting a lot of pressure on these towers.
Really nice Ice Spirit just a moment ago from Mo, right as the Archer Queen popped her ability. And that should be a reset. Couple shots in, 3 shots in on that left-hand side, and things are even once again.
Yeah,
Valkyrie
right there.
to the back. The Valkyrie went to the back. And the Royal Ghost gets on tower.
And that's going to happen again, getting the tower down to 647.
And Sandbox screams back into this battle, almost eliminated, now in the lead.
Mohamed Light, it would have been better not to place a troop at that point, getting the tower down to 463. Evo Valk not understanding its priorities. And right there, Snowball gonna provide a little bit of value, but 1390, 463, this is looking like it's insurmountable.
Nice pause there on the Skellies, making sure he doesn't give Mo too much value. Drill goes to the front, Hut's there, AQ's there, Rocket comes in, Poison goes out. 50 seconds remain. This is a foot race, and Sandbox has the lead.
Right there, Miner forces out the Snowball. It is going to activate King Tower. Very Nice looking play, and technically there's still some sort of opportunity.
That hut being used now, knowing that his opponent is happy to rock it away, but he has the lead, is such an interesting way to defend. But it really paints Mo into a tough spot. And there you go. We're going to game 3. And the crowd rooting for the underdog. I gotta do play Z to get past Mo.
And that's exactly what happened in game number 2, but now here it is. Everything on the line, game 3 underway, Sandbox and Mohamed Light.
Mohamed Light, the only former world champion left in the mix. The only person able to get that 3-time championship. Does it come to an end here? Does Sandbox make this the greatest run of his career? It already has been.
Nice little fire spirit, going to be able to hop onto the Inferno Dragon and the Fisherman. And does he get any time? He doesn't, but this is an interesting interaction.
Things getting a little ugly here for Mo. That Executioner is tanking the snowball, and that's gonna get on tower, and I think he still has a dash. He still has a dash.
Right there, Boss Bandit chipping away at the tower. 3 shots, almost a 4th. Gets the tower down to 1657. Perfection of a start for Sandbox. How does he want to respond to the Inferno Dragon? You knew it was going to be a great response. Guards forcing out a 2 elixir log, so 1 elixir to stop that Inferno Dragon.
And the Inferno just gets a little sizzle on that tower. 4 cards played for Sandbox, and the tower was already down to 1600. Guards come out as the 5th. He takes a lick of damage, 2976, 1657. Working in the same lane.
Wow.
Heal Spirit in both decks.
Wow. We are probably not going to see that for a while. Sandbox pretty low though, and you see him shake his head because, I mean, this is a lot coming down the lane. These Heal Spirit decks, as funky as they are, they can put in work, especially with this Inferno Dragon.
I think Mo just recognized Sandbox spent a little too much, and that is a perfect lightning, my goodness, but down a lot of elixir is Sandbox. Ticking to 8 is Mo, ticking to 4 is Sand. How does Mo want to punish?
Yeah, luckily going into double elixir, so not the end of the world for Sandbox, but definitely not a good situation either. And both of these players just coming up with something new.
Talk about that lightning being a lifesaver, Josh. That was such a great lightning time by Sandbox to stop what would have been a tower-taking push. And the Evil Royal Ghost gets kited over to the right-hand side, and I don't know if that's what Mo wanted. RG down. 6 elixir to defend. Boss Bandit making work on the right-hand side still.
Yeah, and I don't know what he has for this.
The Heal Spirit
plus the Ghost, the Heal Spirit putting in work.
The Ghost goes down. The Exy goes down. And Sandbox is now finding himself in a similar situation as game number 1.
I mean, these Boss Bandits, they're getting value, but it's just not enough. That's the problem with the 6 elixir card. As good as it is, as much value as it gets, sometimes it's just not enough. In this game, it's just difficult. He's not setting up the right pushes. Mohamed Light is just controlling the arena after that opening start.
And now the Evo Exy here to clean things up. Ram Rider finally comes down to slow the RG. This should be a relatively nice cleanup. Goes for the Zappies in the middle. Mo plays on the left-hand side. Great defensive play there by Mo.
You almost wonder if Mo is nodding his head because he respected the prediction or if he was just happy it didn't work out. And right there, Zappies plus Ghost. Ghost is going to disappear and respawn with a little bit more ghouls. There it is.
And now needs to stop this RG.
He yesterday. Okay.
Evo. Oh, and it still gets a shot in. Fireball on the furnace.
This is looking like it's over.
This should do it.
It gets there.
Mo Light stays alive. And Sandbox's dream run finally comes to an end from the GOAT. The fans on their feet, loving this moment. Respect on the stage between these two great competitors.